Good evening, everybody. Hello, Micro Man. Good to see you again. I was sad about last night. I was feeling very ill. Still not 100% tip top now, but definitely well enough to stream. But not yesterday. But the good news is, I think I fixed our little problems with level 2, and I think we're now in a stage where we can look at just listing little problems and trying to fix them one by one, basically ready to make it a commercial ready game. You know, that's pushing it, but that's the idea anyway. Try and make it nice and polished. Let's go with that music. There's going to be a lot coming on. God knows what's coming next. I'll turn it off now. Yeah, so let's quickly give it a run, because I had to go this morning before work, and I think I've fixed it, but better verify that. Right. So the problem was, it was something that Moz had suggested once again that ended up it does seem to work. I've made it go green for going through the flags. That's all it does. And oh, it does give you some score as well. Oh. For the flags, really I need a one-time collision. And the reason I haven't done that yet is because when you're skiing down the hill, you can either go at speeds of 8, 2 or 4, depending on what way you're facing. And of course that means my first idea was to have a Y value for the flag collision that you had to be at, so then it would decide, are you in the flag or out of it at that specific spot. But I do need some sort of gap between it. You did, yeah, nice. I wondered whether you did. I thought I'd upload it for you, Micro, just in case. I'm glad you found it. The reason for it, let's get to that before I forget. It was in player level 2, I think I'm in the right one. Yeah, here. As Moz did suggest, it was returning out. We had return NZ there. I still don't know why this doesn't work. Because like the flags are being drawn on the screen, so they must be less than 256. But anyway, for some reason, it was almost like it iterates through in an unknown order sometimes, but I don't think that is the case. Because if that was the case, then the X wouldn't work. Yeah, no problems, Micro. I did think about it. I thought, you never know, you might find that. And I uploaded about 5 different versions, you might have noticed. I thought I got it working, then I didn't. And then luckily I found this. But basically we're jumping to next instead of returning. And that's it. That was the only thing I needed to change. I've made a similar one for the flags. Annoyingly, I've had to settle with a hard-coded number, a magic number. And that appears twice. That's in this collision check. And also the drawing of the flags. And that means I can't reduce the size of the flags. Like, you know, if you go through the level 3 times, for example, maybe the flags could get smaller. And I've really tried to do it, but for some reason it uses the gap, like the variable for the gap, I mean. Where is it? So I created this. Equals. Huh. That'll be why. Oh, that's good then. So I think in that case I can get rid of both their magic numbers. Draw flag pair. Here it is. I hope this will work. Oh, thank you for the follow, mate. Grim's Guardian. Very welcome here. Yeah, you'll get it, Micro. I'm sure you will. You seem to follow along with the sessions. Good evening, Moz. Don't know if you were here a second ago, but your suggestion did turn out to be correct. Not sure if Jornik is here either, but I noticed he gave me a subscription over when I was off yesterday. So thank you very much for that. I think I've just identified this problem, so I think this is now going to work. The flags should appear exactly as they did a second ago. I also noticed, watch this, if I don't touch the keyboard now, and did you see down the bottom it's got 100% written there for the CPU? If you wait until it's actually settled down like that, the numbers work for the score. And it's only in spin that this occurs. So I'm not sure if the code is to... Look at that, the points aren't going up now. So something needs to be looked at with the UI. But it's not easy because it seems to work. But the good news is the flag's drawn in the right space, so that's perfect for that. In fact, while I'm here doing that, I'll go and just fix the collision one. Here it is. I think we can simply just use that gap figure there. And now, brilliantly, we can actually come up with some algorithm to reduce that to a smaller amount later in the game. Maybe when you reach a certain score. It didn't like that. Oh, because I'm trying to add. So this is going to complicate this a little bit, but not a lot. Anyone brand new here, these comments might or might not be accurate anymore because I've changed this function a lot. So please don't take that for gospel. But all I'm trying to do is I need to load that into the A register, but not lose this. I'm not sure if that's a legal instruction. I'm just going to try and compile with it there. No, it's not. Alright, so A instead, and then load C with A. And then add C. I think that'll work. There we go. I'll just check the collision is still working for flags. It's really weird that points thing not working sometimes. But hey, there we go. I've even made it so if you go right to the edge, it knows, you have to be just inside the gate for it to work. Go too far to the right, obviously it doesn't. But before it was actually allowing you just to do that. Oh yeah, I made a finish line as well. The colours are a bit goofy because that's just whatever happens to be left on the screen from the cars and from the trees and stuff like that. So just to recap what was wrong there for the whole of the last two sessions was we had return NZ there, and as you suggested, Moz, we just needed to not return there. I still can't actually understand. I've spent a lot of time trying to figure out why. As long as the array goes up in increasing order, it shouldn't matter that we return. But let's not dwell on it because we've done it now. It seems to be working perfectly. Like I did just say a second ago, I want to refine the gate version of it so that you only get a one snap chance and you either miss the gate or go through it, and you'll either reduce score or go up. But at the moment, it just gives you 100 points for every frame that you're inside flags. So if you go through nice and clean, you actually end up with a slightly higher score than if you just nip through it. I really do think we just need to look for like smaller errors now. Like for example, this screen needs an improvement. There needs to be some sort of sounds. The cars need better spawning pattern. Of course, I can turn the collision back on whenever I want. We need a death animation for level 1. I'm starting to feel like level 2 is pretty. We can almost just turn our back on level 2 for a little while now. The only thing that's bad on level 2 is at the very bottom of the level. If you miss the finish line, I need to either kill them or, you can't just leave it as it is. It looks a bit stupid. Probably be killing them. Fuse. I'm not using fuse. I'm using spin at the moment. Ski Sunday. I don't remember that. Off the cliff. Yeah, I'll try and get to the end and I'll show you what I mean. I think I'm just gonna if it gets to the end and you're not inside that finish line, I'm just gonna turn it into the death and just kill you, like I would if you hit a tree. Oh, I just missed it. So it looks like it needs to be refined a little bit. I mean, it does work. You have to be right inside the gate though. It needs some extra trees as well. Look, I can just go down like this. And once you turn, it does get hard. But so we've got to just make it so they have to turn sometimes. They can't just stay in the middle like that. Alright, so I'm going to start taking some notes. I think I'll just put it in the main. The very main. So, better car spawns. My brain's gone instantly blank. Oh. Gate collision. One shot. Hit, stroke, miss. Like I say, at the moment, if you miss a gate, we have no way of detecting that. We can only detect if you go through it, and it detects it every frame. That's the two biggest things I've just written down there, in my opinion. Although I'd love to have a loading screen and a title graphic or menu, main menu. Game over screen, I guess. Yeah, at the end of the ski slope. I know there's some little gameplay issues that I'm just overlooking right now. I think the car collision does need a lot of work. Not perfect, but I'll leave that off for now. Micro, I'm confused myself about the loading screen. Although Moz has created one before, and I have got a book on it, I think. but according to Moz, it's not that difficult. It's probably not as hard as some of this stuff we're doing here. Probably just a case of putting the bit of memory in the right place. That's what I'm not sure. I guess it is just obviously it's ones and zeros at the end of the day, but it's how to. I don't know where you store that in the memory. Yeah, and you might not even have to use a whole screen for it if you only want some images. Say you want a picture frame. You only really need to draw the edges, don't you, to do a picture frame? So I don't know yet. I don't know, but I definitely want it. And I've looked up. We have got space. Last time I checked, it hadn't got up a great deal. I added some more sprites. Oh yeah, the finishing line I added, didn't I? And that was quite big, really. And we're still only at 23.6 kilobytes is the tape. Good evening, Mick. Coda Mick. How are you, my mate? Yeah. We're getting to the point where we're just listing minor imperfections now. Excellent, Mick. Yeah, I had a bit of a rough night yesterday. I did want to come online, but I was in a bit of pain, so it's no good coming on stream when you're not feeling great. And also, I didn't have a solution for this, which was also looming over me. Loading screen tutorial. Nice. Thanks, man. What I'll probably do then is look at that later, and then I can do that. I've got a day off tomorrow, so we'll most certainly add the loading screen tomorrow. Because, of course, that has to come right near the end. Because if we do run out of data, I'll have to delete it and just put no loading screen. But I don't think we're going to run out of data. We've got loads of space left. Right now, what do I want to call this? Like the loss of life or reduction of cache doesn't work properly. Reduction stroke game over, because it doesn't get to game over ever. Oh, that's sad to hear, Mick. I'm over the worst of it. I mean, I always have to go to work in my day job. I can't take a day off on that. But luckily, it's easy. I don't talk to many people and that. You're going with pink wig, mate? Why not? Actually, do you know what? If you look at all the top streamers, quite a lot of them have a little gimmick. They all have cameras as well, of course. I do want to try and get a complete list of what we need. I'm going to play it again one more time. See, it reduced cache there, but then if I crash, I go back to level 1 with no skis. It's all perfect so far. I get back over there, and it doesn't take my cache. So let's fix that. Why is that happening? That seems nice and simple. So it's something to do with the shop, of course. Let's search for shop. Not draw shop. Okay, so it's not in this file, I don't think. I'd say it's probably this one. Buy one get one free. I think I've just found out what the problem is as well. We need to make sure this is set in ASCII to false. The code is quite messy now. It's got to that stage where it's quite messy. So there's if it sets it to false. Oh, so that's with no ski as well. Do you know what? I was expecting that to not be there. Because when you die on the tree level, it goes to kill player, which is down here. Sets it to dead. It will come back into the update loop, find that it's dead. It's going to call that routine. It did say no ski, didn't it? Sure. Yeah. Like a chain of bloody routines. It does set it to no ski. False. Has ski equals false. I do find it a bit odd that it doesn't take it again. And I seem to remember that it did on Fuse. I'm going to try loading it in Fuse instead. I'll just set it back to Fuse default for a little while. Okay, so take the first one. Clearly that works. Crash. Notice that the points aren't going up anymore. That's what the problem is then. So the cash probably went down to a tenner now. Look, now the points are working. Crazy. Yes, it's gone down to 0, the cash now. So the cash went down, but it didn't update the UI for some reason. Oh, yeah, I think I might have messed up with the Giphy out of all of them. Because I didn't know I still had that activated. Actually, I think it did work before. I'll give it I'll just check the URL. Because that would be quite funny, that, to have them. My internet loads so slow when I'm on stream. It's crazy. I'm sure like 10 years ago my internet was lightning speed compared to this. I think I have to go to my channel for that. Oh no, it's create a dashboard, isn't it? I won't be long, folks. I won't be long. I'm just checking one URL and I'll be back to trying to fix that problem. For some reason the UI is not updating on the game. Just occasionally. I think I'm going to try the disable interrupt thing. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. You guys who subbed wouldn't even notice this actually. But I got the ability to run like 30-second ad break. And I read about it. By the way, I'm nearly done with this. I read about it and it's like it only plays in the corner. So like when I'm trying to roll a ciggy, I could just stick that on for 30 seconds. Make a penny while I roll, you know. My extension. No, yeah, I haven't lost my focus, don't worry, Mick. This is taking a tiny bit longer than I expected, but it's only because my internet's so slow. Yeah, here we go. I had the wrong URL in there. I don't know how it changed because it did work at one point. Um, Assuming that I don't need to restart Streamlabs or anything like that, that should be working now. I think. Because if I put that on, that's wrong, isn't it? Oh. Yeah, maybe it is working now. So I also had the I thing closed on it because I thought it just showed up in error otherwise, but it seems to be working well now. Right, let's try and fix this bugger. I'm going to try just doing this thing with the interrupts. And actually I should remove that from the collision checks and see if it works without it. But basically, does the cache still PRs about? Oh, it works perfectly now. Or it seemed to. Just from adding that DI, EI. Oh. Ah, the 0 didn't work though. Alright, so it worked just one time. I'll go back to ZX spin. So the points I didn't change, but for some reason that seems to look a bit better. Okay, it's worked there. Yeah, look, they're not going up and down. They should be. And we get nothing. I'm going to move them into the draw digit bit, so that everything we do with the UI now basically has that, because that's like that's the workhorse of that entire routine. Because we call that in this one many times, you know, in the score one, it's called many times. I would be a bit surprised if this worked, but it'd be very interesting because, oh look, it hasn't. You can already see that the numbers aren't showing up properly. Go down to 1, come on. Nah, can't even do that. Well, weird. So that's problem number 1 on the list. What else is there? Oh, better car spawning than number 1. The gate collision is done in player level 2, right at the bottom. If I move this around so that it checks the Y first, we could then check the X in a different routine that we only call when the Y is colliding. That way we'll be able to do one thing if we're inside the gate and another thing if we're out. So that's the only way I can think of doing that. But that still does not stop the fact that you're going to get multiple collisions. I'm not saying here, oh look, that's X. Did I copy and paste that in? Ah, sorry, I do apologise. It's this bit here, above the X bit. All these checks remain the same. So the only difference that I wanted to do, and this is what was weird, this is why I didn't do it immediately. If I just wanted to say is Y equal to flag Y, that would be great. But the thing is, there's 3 different movement speeds for the player. So if I set it to be a multiple of 8, which is his full speed, but then he might go, 2 for 2 frames, and then he'll be off sync. He'll never be able to collide with the flag. But the fact that there has to be this buffer between them too, how do I jump? Do you see what I'm getting at? This is what my brain's thinking there. That's why in the end I went for this easier approach. I am quite tempted to leave it as the easier version because I do want to port this game to other systems which I've never had any experience in. And, the less lines of code, the better, really. So I think, actually, yeah, I've made the decision. I'm going to be happy with the collision as it is. It just gives you 100 points for every frame that you're within the flags. And if you miss them, nothing happens. But I'm going to make do with that. I'm going to put a star next to it to say I don't care about it. Game over screen. Well, that is something we're going to need. That's something that's easy. End of ski slope is another one that's easy. I'm going to do that now because I've only just recently done the finish line, so I sort of remember the code a bit. I think it's in, I don't know where it is actually. Yeah. So similar to with the gates that I was talking about, except for luckily with this one we've only got one Y, and I actually just say that if it's under that amount, return. So as long as you go over that amount, you've collided with the flag. So what I was going to say about the other flags, but the problem was there was two different Y ones, and I didn't know how to get around that. But here I could jump NC, check N line. See, this shouldn't be called check player collision end line, because this is just, let's get rid of that. Player reaches end. Hopefully that's not caused any errors just by changing it like that. So now we've got player reaches end and check end hit. That'll do. I'll make it clear, I'll put end gate hit. So this just established we got to the end of the level. And then this is going to check, did we hit it or not. Notice I've jumped to it, so nothing under this will ever happen unless it didn't hit, unless we're not at the end of the level. So that return statement would take us all the way out of this, which is maybe not what I want. In fact, it's definitely not what I want. Although we do want to, no, actually I'm going to kill him if he doesn't hit the gate, so I might as well just jump. And here, well, I'm just going to dump that text there so I don't forget it. But so here it's going to check, oh, we're at the bottom of the level, and if not, it's just going to instantly return. If it does get to the bottom of the level, we just check. It's funny, I've hit the same problem that I just had with the gates, but the two of them. I don't want to return out. I'd love to be able to put and here, a big and like that. Because I need both of these to be true. Or not true, actually. Well, the only way I can think of is... oh, of course. I've already got one. I've got kill player, haven't I? Good old kill player. And I think we can just jump to kill player. I think that would be fine. Because that just means he's not colliding with the finish line. These two that I've just changed. What have I just done there? Okay. So here we have, oops, I didn't even see that down there that I left there. Here means we have, we've collided with the finish line, or player is inside the finish gate. Yes, because pink for dead. Change that to red. And like I say, killing the player doesn't actually cost him any lives. It's only buying the skis that actually costs him. But for some reason that's not working properly. That's going to be the next thing that's going to snag me, I think, for a little while. I guess I'll just see if that works. Do we die at the end? I'm not sure what's going to happen if the death at the end will just instantly change to level 2, back to the level, or whether it'll wait for me to press S, which would be annoying. Just waiting to see what happens. I want to die at the end. That's not too bad, except for it makes us press S, which is annoying because it puts you on the road. Died so many times. Right, so you still have to press S there. But it's not too bad having to press S. It doesn't actually put you on the road if you're careful. I'll probably make it so you have to press W, innit? Because you're at the top of the screen anyway when you're dead. It's a very easy game. I say that and I crash into a tree. More trees is a must. But I'm actually happy with... the one last thing I'll do before I put an asterisk next to that as well is I'll just go through the finish gate one more time now I've made them changes. And then I think I'm going to have to spend some time on that UI again and wonder why the heck that ain't working. It works intermittently. That's what's really weird about it. Also, if I'm going to nitpick, we need like an end of level pause there. And put that. That'd be super easy. What else? Oh, game over screen. And game over when you run out of cash. The game over when you run out of cash is actually a little bit more complicated than most games with Horace. Because he has 0, but he can still survive. And it's only when basically, he starts with 30 quid, costs him a tenner to buy skis. But if he gets down to 0, it has to know whether you've got skis or not. I can't really remember it, but it definitely isn't. It's not like the most straightforward game ever. Because I remember I did make a remake of this game years ago on Android. I remember then thinking it was a bit strange with the lives. But I think I'll just copy the main menu for now and adapt it into a game over screen. So let's just copy that whole thing. Oh, that's the wrong way to make a new file. Put it in here. I'm going to call it level because I've prefixed everything else with level. Level geo.asm. Actually, delete that. I don't like having an underscore in the file name. Put game over.asm. Game over screen. Make it really simple for now. This will do it, but I haven't done anything with the colours. And I need to change the word title to game over. Change that to game over. Really, it should be simple as treating it as if it's another level. Game state. Oh, we've already got one for game over. Funny, you don't really need that game state. That's only if you want to use this main loop. Let's just have one called game over main. Why not micro? Poison and the remedy. So it's a bit of a mixture this, where I've mixed two different ways to do it with this, because I've created a way to make the main update loop cater for what screen we were on, and then I ignored that and only used it for level 1 and 2. Main menu has its own update loop. It stays inside, and I've just done the same thing with game over. But with that being said, it's fine. It just means that you need to do like check keys again, things like that. But this is good. It means we won't get any unnecessary stuff that we don't want to do. Let's see if that works. There's probably some other stuff we'll have to take care of. But that should allow us to get game over, go back to the main menu, and then start from there. Like I said, that game state thing, bit of a waste of time, unfortunately. I mean, I would have preferred to have used that, but I've gone down this path of doing this now. Oh, I haven't included. Right. Oh, wait. I never call that. Begin game over. How do I... Kill player's fine for that. But that's only going to work in the ski level, isn't it? At the moment, I haven't even got kill player in level 1, but I intended on having 2 different ones. I don't actually need 2 different ones because it just sets the state. The draw code is done individually for each level, so I could just react to that state by doing a different sprite. So I'm going to put that in player. Because we only need 1. And now I can use that in level 1 or 2. I mean, I could anyway, but it makes more sense now. If the player's 0 at this point, the player's cash is 0. That's it. It's game over. It's pretty much that simple, isn't it, really? I decided in the end there's no way of increasing your cash in this simple version where I'm making here. I'm only worried about that 10. It can't go up. It can only go down. Perhaps I'll make it so it can go up, but I'll make it so you can't go over 90. I know it's something like or A is quicker and less bytes, but I'm not going to use it yet. If it is 0, jump begin game over. Jump Z, of course. Yeah. Alright, I think we might be ready to roll with that. So the UI might not look right. It might tell us we've got 20 quid cash when really we've got 0 or something like that. So you just got to live with that, but we know now we've got 20 quid, yeah? Thank you, Fractal. Yeah, I'm very happy with that. No small thanks to all of you guys for watching, otherwise I wouldn't have got anywhere near the average view count. So I'm actually on a tenner now, despite what the UI says. Still a tenner. So it should let me get one more, 0. As soon as I die now, that should be game over. Game over. I mean, to eliminate that problem of seeing the game in the background, although I did quite like it, but you could just do the clear screen. That should work. It's getting good now, isn't it? But unfortunately, oh look, the UI is working right now. Maybe we'll be able to see it go down to a tenner and 0. I doubt it though. Oh, still working. Oh, it stopped working just when I went in the shop. We're actually on a tenner, so now we're on 0. Something is wrong with the UI, but I'm not going to worry about it just yet. I want to get this game over looking a bit snazzy. Well, that's not actually that bad. I'm alright with that for now. Oh, thanks, Fractal. Thank you, my dude. Oh, I need to fix that. Where that was. I can't even click it. Oh, I missed it. Thank you for the bit, so mate. That's very much appreciated. Alert box, there it is. Oh, it really doesn't want to move. Oh, I've locked it, that's why. Okay, now, there we go, nice one. Cheers, Fractal. What a dude. Right, let's get back to this game, Dev. Oh, I didn't press W, but that will work. I wonder what new line character is, because I really want to just do a new line without making another string. I wonder if there is a new line in the Spectrum character set. Checking now. Oh, there's a new. OXOA. Oh, down. Well, I could try it, couldn't I? Let's just try that. I can't imagine that working, but it might. I could have just tested it in the main menu, couldn't I, and saved having to do this, but okay. Oh, it's gone down to 10 though. But I think I'm actually on 0 right now. Yeah, I am. And that new line didn't do nothing. I wonder if there is one though. Well, I'll just try this new, which is E6. I do know that feeling, Mike. 0D, I will try that micro. But first I'll try E6. Okay, thank you. I won't even bother trying this one then. Actually, I'll try it just in case, because there is 2 in the actual Unicode, isn't there? 2 new line characters. But no, it says new. OD. Or just D then. Carriage return. Thank you, man. I'll look it up in a sec and find what it says on my reference. Weird how it goes down to 1 now. I'm sure it doesn't go to 0. Very strange that UI thing. Well, hey. Okay, so it looks like you've got to reset the positional value as well after you do that, which is a right shame. I'll tell you what, what's space? So OXD is enter on mine, which makes sense. Space is 20 ASCII. Do you know what? I wonder what happens if you just, because the colour wasn't working anyway in that game over. I had that problem where it wasn't doing that for me. Yeah, I tried OA. OA was down, yeah. But what happens if I do this and just don't put any position in? But then I just go OXD, OXD, for some lines. It's just my own knowledge really, just to see whether this works, because sometimes it's nice to be able to just write it out like this instead. So it's like 3 spaces along, 2 down. Then we go down another 1. 3 along. It's a bit like writing a HTML website or something now. So I didn't put any of this stuff in. Oh, I do want that though. Oh. I did try it, yeah, micro. I think that was the first one I tried. Gets me down to 1 there. The UI works so far, perfect. And now it's broke. Let me see if I can mess around for long enough and get it to come back on. Don't look at it. So something like kills it and that's the end. But then it does come back. Yeah. Oh, it went down to 0, look. Something's weird with that. Nice, that works. How easy is that then? Cool, I'm going to finally roll my smoke here. Sadly, pressing W doesn't get us into the game, but which I don't quite know why, but it would at least take us back to the main menu. I can't believe that, how easy that was. So all this stuff is not actually needed. You can do it just by putting the data instead down here. Didn't know that. But I like it, because you see, you could make an app write this for you now, couldn't you? You know what I mean? Like if you're making a level editor or something, or a menu editor or whatever, you could probably produce an app that would write that for you. I suppose you could probably get one that would write that as well. But this is easier, isn't it? None of this RST16 crud. I tell you what, Spectrum was telling me, like real pro Spikie devs They don't use any of the ROM. Like, apparently that's a ROM call. Obviously that's a ROM call. So's that. But you can obviously write your own versions of all this, which I guess we've sort of done there. We've just eliminated the need for RST. Don't know. That probably still does call it. I don't know how that works. But back in 2 seconds. Right, anyway. Is it, yeah? I guess it's similar to drawing sprites, isn't it? You're just moving some data from some place where there's font stored onto the screen memory, I guess. But anyway, let's be happy with that game over screen for now then. Oh, but let's not be happy with the fact that it doesn't let you get back out. I just want to see if it clear. I added clear screen to the main menu bit now. Oh no, look at that. I'll have to do the colours in the menu code, in the menu thing instead. Ha, look at that there. That looks quite cool actually. Oh, it didn't work. It's not working at all now, that main menu. So I'm actually on 20, down to 10, yeah. I'd love to know what was causing that. Yeah, done like W does nothing. Problem number 603. I think I'm going to get rid of that. I don't think we ever need that again. Main menu. What did I actually change to make it? Oh, the clear screen. I could just put it there instead. If I could use a keyboard. I mean, it probably kind of makes sense just to have it in all of them. It's better to have it inside where I just deleted it from, really. But because I've already written some code, I don't want to move it all around. Just being lazy. Oh, I expected that to work now. Did I not take it out of the main menu? No. What the hell? So that clear screen really is slow, I think. We don't need it. Because on all the other levels, it just draws every frame anyway. Oh look, it's crashed. Whoa! Oh, because I didn't clear the screen at the very start of the game now either. That's what it is. Just trying to see if the cache is ever not buggy. No, it's bugged up. Points bugged. Alright. That's quite funny though. It stayed where... That didn't start from 0 that time, the writing. So that's why that at thing's there, I think. We'll get away with it on this small game though. But if I didn't have it on the main menu, every time we loop back through it, it'd move down again and again and again until it went too far. So maybe this isn't ideal, but it works anyway, so just leave it. If I did the score and stuff like this, that might actually work, mightn't it? Because I've looked at this so many times, I can't see why it wouldn't work. This bit particularly. To get it to clear the screen is not that hard on the main menu, on the game over. I'm sorry. I mean, I could just fill the screen with black pixels if I really wanted. Do you know what I mean? I could do anything. We're only doing it one time in a minute. But I might have a sit and think about that, like find a way to clear screen. I should start using to do so I can search for the to dos. Because I don't feel like doing that right now. I am worried that this doesn't work though. Call them check keys. What's the problem? If I look in this main loop, there's nothing missing from that really. Not even sure where we're calling check keys from for our normal game. Probably in the player. You'd think up there would be a good place to do it, but it's probably done in here. Yeah. Just leave it, but would have been better up top of that. Well, well, well. What I don't get is, it goes into here. Maybe it doesn't. That's why it doesn't. I simply can't use a keyboard anymore, I think. I probably had some sort of major problem that I didn't even know about. Lost all hand-eye coordination. That's alright, we can deal with all that in a bit. Oh, it's so irritating, that UI thing, because I don't have any idea how to fix that. I think the next thing I'll do is the car spawning, try and improve that. Right, excellent that it gets us to the main menu, but then it never lets you continue from there. I'm going to write a routine for clearing the screen, by the way, but not now. I'll put it in something like one of the tools, sprite drawing or something, or background drawing or something. Let's try this one. Just close all the files. Should think it's in level 1. Oh, there's one called vehicles as well. So we've limited it to 3 per lane of traffic. It's so annoying how they reopen themselves every time. Oh, yeah. It just closed the one I was in. I didn't realise it did that. See, this is a magical function I got from Spectrum, and I have no clue how it works. Oh, I thought I was using Visual Studio then. I don't know what that means. Is that a seed? I think it's just a seed. Let's try that. Yeah, same thing. Wait, what's this? This is some advanced stuff for me, because I didn't know you could do that without doing call or something, you know. Wow, it works though. Spawn chance. I mean, what more can I do than this? Thing is, spawn chance, yeah. If you put it at 255, it has no chance to spawn. So we've already got like not much bloody leeway, have we? guess for level 1 maybe that's easy, but it's too easy, isn't it? The only other way I can think of doing it is a horrible way, but having a timer for every single lane so that they can't spawn it too quickly, and then put the chance up. That'd be 6 timers. That's all constant. What did I name them? Right 1, right 2. Yeah. I mean, this is the only way I can think to add any more control over it than what we're already doing. So then we'd have like a minimum interval. And that'd be measured in frames. And really we want it to be at least at the maximum 255. That would still be 5 seconds, so that's plenty, isn't it? Let's just whack it in at 150 for now and see what happens. So I either want to just tick these up every frame, and then when I spawn one, put it back to 0. Well, that's what I want to do, but I could either do that just by adding to it in an update loop, which is how I'm going to do it, yeah. I'm going to do it that way. So where does this get called from? Level 1 update, good, that makes sense. So we'll just increment each timer. Oh. I could use a pointer and go through each one and increment them, but I don't know, this just seems easier and clearer to read for me right now. Simpler. So they're all going up every frame. Let's do them for the left side as well, or for the right facing traffic. And then when we spawn it, Yeah. So it'll go in here, and we'll check. But I just want to check if I want to do this after or before the random. Let's just try it the simple way. So we're in the spawn left 1. We'll load timer 1. Compare that to interval. Return if it's less than interval. It's still not going to be great because they're all going to be at the same, and then it will only be the fact that it then might return out. So we want to change spawn chance to being like more common. Put like 128. Nah, let's put 150. Did I just lose the position I was in? Where was I? Oh, done left one first. So now has a much better chance of spawning. Because otherwise we'll be waiting forever. The only thing I'll do is so there's not a wait, I'll just start them all above interval anyway. It's going to tick them over, isn't it? So right at the start they can all spawn. See, what I could have done is assign them a random amount actually, and then don't have an interval. Just check for 0. Let's do that instead. Why are they open again? So sod the interval. We'll just have a completely random interval every time. So we want decade instead. Oh. So instead we want to check for them all to be 0 and then call this function. And then when we do, we'll give it a random amount. Where is it? Here. We don't need that. Don't need that. So that makes me wonder, can I just do load spawn timer 1 with RAM? That'll be interesting if I can do that. Just try and compile that. Nah, didn't think it would like that. So it's going to spawn a vehicle, choose a random interval and put it in there. Might end up spawning too often with this. Okay. Right. I think I just need to make it the changes in here to reflect that left one. Okay. I'll just copy that here. Yeah. So hopefully they will at least spawn. I don't know what it's going to be like, but no, nothing's spawning. Probably just forgotten something completely. I was just checking there wasn't some random thing in here to say get out. They should have spawned eventually, shouldn't they? It's just that they were all on that. I wonder if I'll make them all one. that worked. I think it is working. It's not ideal though. Need to make it more common, I think. Quickly make another smoke while I have a little think. We sort of are doing that micro, because each lane is spawning the car of its own, if you see what I mean. I need to somehow separate them more though, yeah. Because at the moment I'm doing the same thing for every lane. You see what I mean? And then it's only when it becomes random. I mean, I could eliminate that staggered thing at the start by assigning them all a random number before we start the level. How did I do that? I mean, let's keep it straightforward and just pop it in here, hard coded. We'll probably have to do the same thing for each of them unless we made one. In fact, let's just pop it in the vehicles so it doesn't keep it messy in the other. Just put like randomize all car starts. But that's only going to fix the start. The problem is the random number is giving us like too long a wait. It's like up to 5 seconds per car per lane. I want it to be up to 5 seconds like sometimes, but very rarely. That would be the ideal way of doing it for me, you know. Really, I want it to be like roughly every 1 second, and obviously staggered as well. Maybe between 1 and 5, but I'll figure it out in a sec. Let's try and get them all starting randomly first. Odds table. That sounds like the solution, because I'm never any good with these tables. I avoid them, don't I? I just do something goofy like this instead. Because my maths brain doesn't work like it used to. When I try and think of like, well, that sort of thing, that entire sort of subject. It was the same with jumping tables, wasn't it? My brain just gave up completely. But I don't know what I did wrong, but it was not working. Let's randomise them all. Just for the lols, 69. Interesting how you get sometimes no cars and then a flurry of them. So that random number wasn't quite perfect, was it really? Because it should give us a different random number every time. Where did I put that stupid function? Call rand. Just out of interest. Try a couple. Get random. So they're left facing lane 1 and 3 of my old goofy randomizer. Just didn't make any difference whatsoever. They all came out at the same time. If I recall right, I did make a routine like this when I first made the cars, but I quickly deviated back to the way I had it like just today originally when we started up. When we set the random spawn timer, we want to make sure it's below a value, really. I think I'll just do that for now. And take ones off each time and see if it works better. So this is another slow trial and error process from me, I'm afraid. Hopefully we'll get there in the end like we usually do. Gonna need that on every time we call get random for these spawns. So that should make it twice as likely as what we just saw. Oh, thanks Moz. Legend. Very much appreciated. I'm adding new emotes soon as well. I know you've already subscribed. I find it unfair they only give us one emote. It's not fair. Oh, what am I playing through for? How they stayed where they were. That's quite funky. Do you know what? That's a lot better than it was. I'm not sure why the left facing traffic is so much less likely than the right. But, and then we get. So maybe let's just try and make it even more likely. I'm not sure what gave us more control, the way we had it before or this way, but I've tried both the ways that my little brain can imagine randomly spawning cars, but they seem even less likely now. And then they just instantly. Ah, I know what the problem is at the start. I never call randomize ever. I change that to timers. It's not really starts. I'm not sure what I've done to it to make it get under like that. Excellent, this is looking a bit better. It's got a minor bit of challenge now. You know, I have to actually wait until the right moment. Excellent. It's funny how they still remain there. I don't mind it though. It's almost like the Spectrum has unlimited RAM. Like the whole thing is just RAM, isn't it? That's why. You never have to worry about the RAM because you have to fit it all into the RAM. See if I can get game over. Whee. And that's it, the game's stuck there. This kind of works, but it's hard to get it fine-tuned, you see. The only next option now is twice as likely again. And this will probably just be like Maniac stuff. I wouldn't mind if this is okay, like medium level difficulty, and then you can have a Maniac level for like the very end. We'll probably have to make Spikie like not be able to move at the start, but see, this is already getting a bit manic. Pretty good though. Yeah, I quite like it. Maybe we have to make it a maximum of 4 cars per lane, because I noticed 3 there, and then I was easily able to get across because they were all on the road. Yeah, that's pretty hard now. Rack up them points. Ah, it's funny because once you get going, it seems to get harder to steer. I don't know why. Big bonus. That road's looking pretty sweet now, to be honest. I'll try turning the car collision back on. Let's put a line under that and say it's done for a while. The spawning. I'll put 1 star next to that. Put 1 star next to game over screen as well. I forgot. I just said what I was going to do and then I forgot. If I play it, I'll probably remember. I'll clear the screen as well because that's getting annoying, that S-tap thing. I've completely forgotten what I was going to do, but now what I want to do actually, I want to try and make four cars per lane. I suppose what I really want to do, where I do this, I want to also mask out some low numbers. I certainly don't want it to be like under 10, for example. if it's like 5 or less, it's going to be like two cars immediately spawning on top of each other, pretty much. But if I was just to put a 0 there, then obviously we're going to get 0 more often. I guess I could probably do something like that. And then, if it's 0, start again. But if I'm going to do that, I may as well just say if it's 10. If it's under 10, start again. How much is that 5 ones? I don't even know. I should know binary by now. Amount of times I've done it, but my brain just disregards like stuff I feel it's not necessary to know. 31, that is. Hover. I don't think I've got that added. Even though I've got the lens, I need to add your hex helper, I think, for that. But that was a good shout. I think I will add that stuff soon. Because I've got the calculator that I use. But less hassle, isn't it? So yeah, between 10 and 31 we'll say for now. And we'll use Matey Boy's Rand, because I'm sure it's a million times better than my one. And then I'll use the Moz trick that I would never have thought of, but now I do all the time. I believe that's going to work. It might not be the quickest way of doing it, but I'm going to use the old trick here. I've had enough of typing that manually. What a pain. There we go. Did all the text just shift over to the left? It seems really shifted now. Oh, that happened. Okay, micro, see you in a minute. Anyway. Oh, let's see if they spawn not on top of each other now. But really, we're going to have them spawn even less often now. That's the only thing. Slightly more uniformly. Of course, they're going to spawn right next to each other. That's different. That's not in the same lane. They're pretty close. Still, that's probably 10 frames. I could probably put 20 there. Well, just wonder. So what is that? 64. The next one up. Let me check just to make myself sound completely stupid. Oh, right, the wrong one. 63. It's given us quite a bit of fine-tuned control there, doing that, really, hasn't it? I don't like that how they always spawn at the start like that. But yeah, there's less of. Well, that's bloody close to each other though. Don't know. It's definitely better before. The only other way of getting more fine-tuning than this that I can think of is doing it all with 16-bit values instead somehow. But then you're basically talking about floating point numbers, which I've had some experienced devs telling me I shouldn't really be worrying about that until I'm a real expert. I think I can live with it like that. Let's turn the collision on and see how it plays. Because I've only got one collision check for cars, I use the same one no matter what way they're facing. I remember I had a limitation. See, I had to reduce. I couldn't add the width, but to get around that, I could make two different routines. I think I'm gonna have to. See, because otherwise you collide with the left side of this car, but also the left side of that car only. So I am gonna have to. So stop this one, I guess. Yeah, it certainly does. That's the only way I can think of doing it anyway. Oops. So I won't even change anything other than the labels, and I'll just see if it works the same as what it did. And it should be a case of just adding an offset and then subtracting it on the other one. Oh, what have I done? I did. Changed it all. Perfect music for the situation. Yeah, I've got the full amount of sounds. You can't add any more now, unless I delete some. I have to type it all because if I try and copy it, it's going to lose the thing. I think that looks all good. So I'll test it first before I do anything else. Oh, I've got to move all the way up here, unfortunately. They're the best. He's still awake. Do you know what? I think that might have not worked. Oh no, that was right facing traffic that got me. No, it was left. No, it was right. Yeah, it hit me. That was brilliant. That yeah. I'm going to take the plunge and just put the L there. I could have just left it the name it was, to be honest. Never gonna give me right road. Have I missed anything? I think it's okay. So give it one more whirl. And then I've got to figure out exactly what I want to change on this collision code. Okay, that they hit me. Yeah, so I want to add the width to them right facing cars. And left facing. See, I'm still adding the width, that's what I don't get, but it adds something to do with the speed, I believe. Yeah, if you got it in the head. I can picture it and everything. That's why that Giphy's the best, but I hope you can use it for free, because I did put it, or I meant to put it, so that you could still use that for free, you know, it's all meant to be just for fun. But I haven't actually checked that since I became affiliate. Might have nudged up. I know the sounds are free. Oh my god, this is a long one I think. This is super long. There's a weight code to make up for sure. I love it. I need an overlay of a raving chicken now. Whenever someone plays that, I'm going to put it on. We should actually rob that tune for the game. Obviously, it wouldn't go on the Spectrum, but amazing. I've completely forgot what I was doing this time. Oh, that's it. I was trying to add the offset of the car somehow, and it wasn't liking it. Oh, I think that's all it is. Is it something to do with the speed? I'm going to just go with it that it is. So if they're going left, player X, car X. I swear that doesn't work like it should, does it? Left facing. I mean, I'm quite happy with that, actually, on the left facing ones. So I'm trying to go around the back of one. Alright, maybe that's a little bit cheeky. Oh, I didn't lose my ski either. I think I will leave the left facing stuff. Look, it's okay. And I guess we just want to add the car's width here. Quite a bit there already. I think the Y is a little bit unforgiving. We need to shrink that box down. I'd say what the middle section of your body should count or something as the hit. Maybe your feet. Yeah, your feet maybe. Not sure. So that's the feet bit. Try that. In fact, try that as well. No. You see, that's going to make it more likely to collide because it says it's A smaller than B. Player's head. That's quite confusing, isn't it? Every time I get stuck on these. The player's top. If the player's top in B is greater than the car's top or the car's bottom. So if I want to like give him some extra leeway so his head can collide but not the body. A is smaller. Yeah, I do. I want to add. Let's try that. And this is only on the right facing traffic that I just changed. Right facing. Okay. maybe a little bit too forgiving now. Oh, why am I using player whip? Although, yeah, that should help actually. I hate that big length of time at the start as well. Oh, whole well, there's no collision now. Did I just change height when I meant? This one's probably sub. Appear after the traffic's already moving. That's a good idea. Very good idea. I mean, I could start the road generation code when you're already in the menu, and that way it would probably give a bit more of a random feel to it as well. Because the longer you sit in the menu, you know, you'd have to sit in the menu for the same amount of time every time for it to be the same, I guess. But we just want to do a random seed, I guess, every time you start the game to avoid the same thing happening every time. If you know what I mean. That big delay was, yeah, just put a time delay, I suppose, when we start the game. I'll do that after I've done this one, and I think if I just put sub here, I think that's going to help me. Top lock. Oh, I've completely killed the collision somehow. Well, it's above the car. I think that's how I had it originally, so let's just try that. Oh, what? I always get really confused on this collision stuff. Well, yeah, I think we are back to where we started actually. That's got to be a more polished way of doing it, and it was. Yeah, and conveniently, we've already got that 2 pixel buffer at the edge of the screen. I'll walk him all the way to the middle, and then by the time he's got there, it'd be alright, wouldn't it? I'm gonna have to think about it logically, aren't I? I mean, let's just write a number. So it's 24 in total. Let's add 12. This is the car top versus our feet. I really thought that would have worked, but it seemed to kill the collision when I did that. I'm going to try to put in the number 12 though and see. Oh wait, I didn't realise it was 24 when I made 12. Do 8. So that subtraction I done earlier was what was causing all that major mess up. I think the X is just about acceptable. This Y you seem to have to go too far down. I suppose actually though it's either that or nothing, because there's not much fine tuning in his walking. I could change him to 4 per step now because I've updated his colouring code. A bit more Astley can always help. Because we're never going to give Spikie up. He is going to work by the end. It's never going to give him up. Where's his walk speed? Can't find it. It's here. Let's try 4, because I think this will work now. And then in that case, where did I put that? The magic numbers. Let's make that 4. Make Spikie into a multi-console mascot. Oh, it's much harder now. It's still too high, like, or too low, I don't know what the word is. It could just be a case of making that 3 instead of a 4. The thing is, that's virtually like saying add nothing, because we can move in only segments of 4. Okay, it's gone even. I'm looking at the wrong bloody one, that's why. I'll put that back to 8. It was this one we're looking at, isn't it? Try 18. You never know, Moz. There might at least be the Nintendo Switch version or so. Something that Unity can produce anyway. Because I fired up Maya, the 3D modeling program on my computer, and it does work. Like I could create, if I tried to create a whole scene, it wouldn't be good on this computer. But if I just wanted to create a character, I could probably do it. But I haven't used it in so long, I couldn't remember all the hotkeys, so I was really slow. But when I get time to practice, I might make a little 3D Spikie. That was looking good. So you can still get, oh no, yeah, you can still get there. I think if I put this to 21, that'll be the same as saying it's going to hit it as soon as you hit it. Yeah. So sadly, I wonder what 20 does. 20 is the same as 18, I think. It's one of them situations again where we haven't really got that much leeway to mess around with. I quite like that, how it is on the feet I'm talking about. The X needs a tiny bit of refinement. Maybe he needs a little bit more of a buffer. Like I say, I don't think 18 would make any difference. It's going to have to be 16 to be any different at all. Alright. Maybe that's okay. Yeah, let's live with that for now. So then the head. Wow. Could do with just having one lane on right now. Yeah, that's quite good. That's quite good. So you can, like, if you're really good, you can fit between them. But only if you get on the right, like the exact right step. Maybe it makes the game a bit easy, but VR Frogger. I've never played VR. Have you guys played VR? Have you got VR then? That's an interesting one. I'd love to know actually. Because I know you're into retro gaming, but it'd be interesting to see if you're into VR. I think if I had my own house and money, I would definitely have VR. You have it, nice. The snooker game looked well interesting. I saw Ronnie O'Sullivan playing it. Never using it, no. Have you ever seen that game where you're a guy in a wheelchair and it kind of suits VR? Like, because the game came with like a gun that you hold and like I think like the chair as well, but I'm not sure. Maybe it was just something you attach to your chair, like, and then you have to wheel around. Novelty's worn off. Okay, that's interesting. Then both of you say that. Kind of glad I didn't get it then. Have you ever played Elite Dangerous? Because that must be great in ER, in VR. Get too hot, yeah. I must admit I get hot with my headphones on. I don't really like headphones that much. No head hit. Yeah, it is a bit messy, isn't it? And the fact that we can only move 4 at a time, pixels, and before just now it was 8. 8 made it impossible, but 4 has made it so we can just about do it. Haha, good night, man. I love it. Yeah, I'm gonna sort out these X collisions just by giving them a tiny couple of pixels buffer. Right, let's see. All these magic numbers I'll come in and change. Thanks, Kodamic. Thanks, dude. Gotta love him sound. I'll just say 4 for there for now. Yeah, good night, mate. I'll be on again tomorrow. I'm doing loads of coding in the day. I found I don't get much success with daytime streams, but I might give it a go. If not, I'll just do some coding and then come on later, show what I've done. But here I'm just putting him to the left side, so if it comes at you from the left, you don't hit it. It doesn't hit you immediately. I'm kind of considering doing it here. Oh, in fact, that's where I should be doing it. Let's also do it there, sod it. Ah, sugar. It's the width though, isn't it? So I've only got one or none. I remember having this problem now. Let's have a look at that then, the right facing cars. And then I'll copy that into the left. That was alright actually. What about if I run into the back of it though? Yeah. I think it's alright. It gives you a little bit of leeway. It's definitely better than what was there before. How best to do this? I think I can just copy that. Oh god, I don't know. Oh, that's the Sims. Wanted it for the flight sim. World War II flight sim. Oh, I've heard someone going on about Storm Beach. That does sound good. Yeah, that wheelchair one looked crazy. Because that had the head tracking. Yeah. So why are they different? Even though they're different, I'm gonna just cause myself a lot of hassle here by just copying it. I probably just balls myself right up here. Let's just see. Rudder pedals. Oh mate, you just made me think racing must be epic. Like F1. Imagine if you had the race seat and everything. I always try and think of games that you play sitting down, like things you do sitting down in real life. Okay, I already knew the right side was working. Let's try and get the left. That seemed okay. Yeah, I'm happy with this. Yeah, I quite like it. It's getting to the point where it's got an element of fun to it. Still a bit easy, and we know this is easy. I think a few tactically placed trees would make this quite hard though. A few more trees. And along here, for example, at the bottom. Yeah, it's better, isn't it? It was too before. It was either way too easy or way too hard, and like nothing in the middle. Now it's maybe still a little easy, but I mean, I could still make it a bit harder. We can tweak the traffic, like if we have a different random function where it does the timer, with that and bit mask thing. We just come up with a different formula, and like when we're on level, have another ball to, like, say hard mode or something. New Fight Simulator. What PC do you need for that then? Do you need the absolute latest tech to play that, or do you need would a GTX 1060 play it? That's what I used to have before it broke. It used to play almost everything, to be honest. Better video card, yeah. Well, if you guys keep supporting me, I'm definitely going to buy a new PC anyway soon, because I've been meaning to anyway. But it's finding the cash in it. But if I get some income from Twitch, bloody hell, I'll be straight on that. Maxed out VR, I take it. Yeah, I never heard of maxed out. Oh, max settings. Where's that magic list? Level pause is going to be another thing we need to do pretty soon. I've got 1 star there. Loading screen, definitely going to do that tomorrow. I'm going to read that tutorial before I go to bed tonight. Main title graphics. Does it? Yeah. You need to be able to play like 4K gaming, I guess, in the highest quality. My last computer was good at 1080p, but if you put it anything above that, it did struggle. Yeah, you got to have that second monitor, haven't you? I mean, I don't know about VR, because obviously it's strapped to your head, isn't it? Not much left to do here, guys. I don't know if you lot can think of anything else to add to that list. But the UI, I don't know if that's in there, but UI bug is the biggest one. 737, awesome. Do you know, I have played them games, the old like X Plane and stuff like that. But I always wanted to I get bored. I always want to attack something. But I must admit, I was playing the pirated one, so there was no like online people with me or anything. Mrs. Moss wouldn't like that. You got to see it from their point of view sometimes. They walk in and see you like surrounded by like bits of plastic that you've stuck together with tape and stuff. I suppose it's no different to in the old days though. My uncle, he had a massive train set in the loft. You know, his wife must have hated it, but he had it 50-50. I'm not sure what you mean by 50-50, but if you mean about the subs, yes, that is correct. Amazon keeps 50 of it. I don't know about bits though. I think that's free. Oh, husband, wife. Yeah, but you don't see like wives strapping up in bloody race car cockpits with their computer. But yeah, they go out shopping instead normally and spending all your money there. uh, my ex-partner, I wasn't married, but it was enough to put me off for a long time. I'll tell you that. Too much, too many problems. I wonder what's causing that UI bug. I mean, it never changes the ink color. I've noticed that on the draw digit. They're always black and white. Maybe that'll fix that bug. No, hasn't fixed it at all. Oh, I forgot about the collision. It's maybe slightly too easy, but I think we can tweak it with some brain power. You got me. Oh, that's another bug. So when you die, terribly upsetting. That is harsh. They just don't get it, do they? It's funny though. My sister, she's 37, and I don't see her all that often. But when I went round to see her, I noticed she'd bought a Super Nintendo and loads of games just because she wanted to. Caught me off guard. That Spikey's screwed now. He really is. Oh God, that's what I was gonna do. I was why when you die don't you what is it? It doesn't put you back to no ski. It calls it here. Oh, it sets its position first, that's probably why. Pop it up there. Spiky goes to the swamp. I have heard of shoot 'em up construction kit, yeah. I used to have it on the Commodore Amiga, if that's what you mean. You don't call that 500 types of shampoo shit. You should start. Nah, that's a recipe for arguments, isn't it? You gotta let them get their minor victories. I was listening to sports radio the other day, and Darren Bent was on there going on about it. He's got a show on the radio called, like, I can't remember what it was, something stupid. And the reason was because he's got Boot Room. It's called. It's called Boot Room, and it's because he in his room he's got 1,000 pair of trainers. 30 or 40. Yeah, but I mean, what an idiot though. You know, it's one thing owning 1,000 pair of trainers. That's bad enough, but then to have them all on your wall and then have a show called Boot Room. So maybe you love trainers a bit too much. The guy's a multi-millionaire, you know. Still just thinks about trainers. I see that bug's gone then. So when I pick up the ski, if I can even get over there, I'll cheat it. Oh, just. It still does it. Did not expect that. Oh, wait there. Dead update. Where do I actually set him to dead? Set state dead. That'll probably do it. Missed a return, did I? Yeah, I've got 2 pairs of trainers. And they're both knackered. Yeah, he loves them trainers. I mean, to be fair, it's done its job because I'm talking about it. I've remembered his show. Maybe the collision's a little bit too kind right now, especially on the left-facing cars. Let's see if this kills me. It still puts me up there. Weird. You see him appear up there with no ski. Where's in victory conditions? Hang on. Has ski. Let's just set that to false as well. That'll probably do it. wonder why. Bottom lane. Yeah, I think you're correct there, mate. I mean, I did just make a special routine for that, but I need to tweak it. But I'll do it when I'm a bit more awake. Because otherwise you'll just be watching me like mess around with numbers and not even thinking about it. It's one of them though, yeah. It's one of these numbers here or here. It's that right there. That was the problem with the width. You either make it hit immediately when the player's right side hits the... For some reason now, when we're dying, we're being put up there, I've done something stupid. It definitely ain't that that's causing it, is it? So, what else did I change? It was in the collision, the bottom here. Oh, that's why. I'm setting the state to no ski and then dead. I think that's probably why. Cantina scene. Is that what the music's called, is it? All the music does fit my stream well because it's like calamity style music, do you know what I mean? Okay. I didn't see what movie it was from. I think finally that might just do it. Oh, Star Wars. I do know it now, yeah, I know the music now. But hey, I fixed one problem. Like I say, I had to allow too much leeway on the X there. I didn't like that with one. It's going to have to just be brutal. I don't take into... it's only full cells. It looks like I haven't even... Oh, that's the wrong one. Here. So I think this is about as good as I can get the collision detection on the cars to be. You get hit by it pretty brutally, but there is a bit of leeway on the height. Yeah, quite nice. At least it gives you that tiny element of skill being able to stop at the right bit. Oh, I couldn't do it there. See, that seemed to be a bit early there. I suppose when you're facing left though, there maybe is like a bit of a buffer of pixels. I'm not sure how to achieve it on the Spectrum, but I could do a pixel per pixel collision routine. Oh, It does involve, how it involves is you have to basically grab the collision data, like grab the area of the screen where the collision occurs, test it pixel for pixel on both. That's the bit that confuses me on the Spikie, because in object oriented program you already know what object you're in, so you can reference like the this keyword, then you know like this pixel compared to that pixel, you know what I mean? But here it would just be a pixel. They seem a bit closer together down there, although it does still work though. It's pretty funny. It's only meant for a fun little simple game anyway, isn't it? Don't know what's happened to the cache there though. It turned it into a minus sign. I've never seen that. The UI is the next big bugger thing to do. But I think I shall wrap it up here. I'll quickly look at that list of things to do again. Tomorrow we'll definitely 100% put that into place, or at least have a go at it. I'm hoping I can use a similar technique for that. There's something called screen $sign, isn't there? SCR dollar. And I need to investigate them. Somehow I think they save memory, but you can put a full screen image. So we'll learn about that. The pause is going to be super easy. We'll just use our vsync routine or something very similar to it. The UI bug I'm highly scared about. Maybe I have to just rewrite the UI code completely. It'd be a shame, because it'll be again nearly all the same. But I don't know. I've looked through it hundreds of times. I can't see where the problem is. So sometimes you just have to delete it and write it again, don't you? Would be a shame though. I think it does work. There's just some stupid little thing causing it to not work. I will upload this straight away. I'll do that right now. I'll just call it, what part are we on? I might as well call it that, be a bit more professional. Part 15, call it that. Yeah, that's already on there, so you can tinker with that to your heart's content. Hopefully improve on it. Do whatever you can with it. Oh, thanks Moz. Honestly, all your support is more than what I ever imagined, so thank you again. Can't say thank you enough. And no problems, Microman. Thank you as well for sticking around. I can't wait till this is a complete game. I have a feeling if I can somehow get over the UI stuff, then I've got tomorrow and the next day off. Maybe we can absolutely finish it, and then after that I'll turn my attention to a C64 Hello World. Just do a really simple one, and then try and pull as much of this into that as we can, basically. Yeah, very cool stuff. I'm looking forward to it. If I make a load of progress tomorrow in the daytime, I'll jump on in the day and display that. But if I'm making slow progress, I'll come on at night time. ZX Paintbrush, yes I do, I have that. I've actually used that on stream. At first I couldn't use it at all, but then I've got the hang of it now. I really like that tool. It's like any tool, innit? You've got to know what the little buttons do. Yeah, thanks again everyone. I'll let you all get off. I'm going to get up myself to sleep. And hopefully you'll be around tomorrow when we'll be, adding much more to the game. Cheers, Micro. I'll be there for you, mate. About 11:30ish and like I say, maybe in the day. So I'll keep in touch. If not, I'll jump on Discord at the very least in the daytime. So yeah, see you there. Have fun, guys.